My name is Emmett. I am 100 years old, and there is one thing I have done every single night for 26 years. It takes 11 minutes. It costs nothing. Anybody can do it starting tonight. But before I tell you what it is, I have to knock something down. And I have to do it right now instead of at the end. People want me to say this is why I made it to 100. I am not going to say that. It would be a lie, and you would have caught me in it inside of 10 minutes. I do not know why I am 100. My brother Dell did everything I did. Same house, same food, same work, same water. He has been gone since 1994. 32 years. He was a better man than me, and he did not get half of what I got. So no, this is not why I am alive. Anybody who tells you they have got the reason is selling you something. And at 100 years old, I have got nothing to sell you. What I will tell you is what this thing actually does. And I think it is worth more than what you came here for. Here it is. Every night before I go to bed, I wash the dishes by hand, and I put every one of them away. That is it. That is the whole thing. Now hold on, because that is not the story. The story is why. I married Vivian in 1948. I was 22, just home from the Navy 2 years, running deckhand on the tugs out of Astoria, Oregon. We were married 51 years, and in 51 years I never once helped that woman with the dishes. Not one time. I want you to hear that plain, because I have never softened it, and I am not going to start at 100. 51 years of suppers. She cooked every one of them, and every night I got up from that table and went and sat down in the front room, and she stood at that sink by herself. She never asked. That is the part that gets me now. She never one time asked me to help her. I worked 41 years on the river. I thought that squared it. Every man on my street thought the same thing, and every one of us was wrong. Viv died in the spring of 1999. I was 73. And I want to tell you about the 9 months after that, because it is not flattering. I could not have told you what month it was. I mean that. My daughter Janet came by in the fall and found 4 months of mail in a laundry basket, unopened. Some of it was checks. I lost 14 pounds and did not notice until my belt did. The days had no edges on them anymore. Tuesday ran into Wednesday, and Wednesday ran into whatever came after, and there was nothing anywhere in there to tell one from the other. I was not sad exactly. I had gone flat, like a man who quit keeping time. If any of this is reaching you, do me a kindness and hit the like button, and subscribe if you would care to sit with me again. And tell me in the comments where you are watching from. The town, the state, the country. At 100 years old, it does something for a man to know his voice got out of this house. Now here is what happened. 9 months after she died, on a January night, I was standing in that kitchen at 2 in the morning because I had quit sleeping in any way you would call sleeping, and her dish towel was still hanging on the oven handle. 9 months. Nobody had touched it. It was hanging exactly the way she left it, with that fold she always put in it. And I stood there, and I picked it up. There were 2 days of dishes in that sink, so I ran the water and I washed them, and I dried every one with her towel, and I put them away in the cupboards where she kept them. And while I was doing it, I started talking to her. Just told her about the day, nothing important. Told her Janet came by, told her the wind was up, told her the Petersons sold their house. Took about 11 minutes, and when I turned the light off, something had happened that had not happened in 9 months. The day was over. Not finished, not fixed. Over. There was a line under it. And the next morning was a different day instead of more of the same one. I have done it every night since. 26 years. Now let me tell you what I think is actually going on, because I have had a long time to work on it. I ran tugboats for 41 years, and I was in the Navy before that, and on the water your day has hard edges built into it. Watches change, bells ring, somebody relieves you and you go below. You are never once confused about where the day ends. Ashore, nobody does that for you. And when you are old and by yourself, absolutely nothing does it for you. No job lets out, no kids come home, there is no whistle. So the days start running together, and that is the thing that actually gets old people. Not the aches, not the heart. It is a month going by that you cannot account for, then another one, and you get to where you are not really living days anymore. You are just sitting in one long gray afternoon that started in 1999. 11 minutes at that sink puts a bell on the end of my day. That is all it is. And it is a small thing, and it has held me together for 26 years. There is the other half of it, too, and I might as well say it out loud. For 11 minutes every night, I am doing the job I should have been doing since 1948. And I am talking to my wife while I do it. My son Roger asked me a few years back if it was not sad, an old man talking to a dead woman over a sink. I told him no. I said, "Roger, I talk to your mother every night for 51 years, and I do not intend to quit on account of a technicality." He did not have anything to say to that. Now, 2 things, and I will let you go. The first, whatever you do, do not go looking for the perfect thing. It does not need to be dishes. It does not need to be good for you. It needs to be small. It needs to be the same every night, and it needs to be the last thing you do. Because a day that does not get ended does not get counted. And a life is nothing but days that got counted. The second one is for the men. And I want the men listening to sit still for a second. Get up from the table. That is it. That is the whole thing I would go back and change out of 100 years. Not the money, not the work, not any of it. Get up from that table and go stand next to her at the sink. It is 11 minutes. I have measured it about 9,000 times now. 11 minutes a night. And over 51 years, that comes to something I do not care to calculate. And she stood there alone for every one of them and never once asked me. You have got a chance to do it while it still counts for something. I do it now and it counts for nothing except to me. If you stayed with me the whole way, then you and I would have gotten along. Press that like button and go on and subscribe, because there will be more of these. And tell me in the comments where you are watching from. And tell me one more thing while you are in there. Tell me the last thing you do before bed. I am curious what other people use for a bell. I read every one of them. And tonight, when you are done with whatever you are doing, end the day on purpose. Do not just let it stop. This has been Emmett. 100 years old, Astoria, Oregon, 41 years on the river, 51 years married, and I have got dishes in the sink. Goodbye now.